Hello, this is session 1 of 4 of Battle Between the Worlds Sidereal Tenets. This is a weird thing. This is a weird setting, and we will be exploring each session deals with a specific point in time in the universe's history. Each point in time is related to and each point in time has a different Polaris, which is basically the equivalent of God, quote unquote. So, or the closest thing the universe has to God. So, um, in in this scenario, um, the get or rather, let's go through ton discussion and like all that stuff. X card is on the table, so if you need to use X, or type X on Roll20 somewhere, as long as I can see it, or everyone can see it actually. And then we can just stop and maybe take a break. Maybe like we won't ask questions about why you did it, but like we might ask specifically what needs to be X carded. So if it's unclear. Apart from that, tone is well, I guess I'm going doing cats in like weird order. So aim and tone. Aim would be to explore these weird cosmic concepts and just like have fun with them. And tone, I guess we can decide in like if you guys want how gonzo you want it to be or how not gonzo you want it to be. But I like it if it's like gonzo in the sense that it's epic and amazing and all this crazy shit's happening more than like haha gonzo funny. Like it's less comical gonzo and more like this shit should not be happening to normal people because when it's happening because you guys aren't normal people. So
So the characters are grounded in reality, but the situations are not.
yeah, I guess it's so like think of or like the situations are like more so that the situations aren't um they're not like comical, like the situations are dire and like for example this session the gate of heaven is broken, but then there's also that fact that holy shit it's the gate of heaven part of it. That's gone, so I guess. So is everyone okay with tone and the rest of cats?
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's gonna be gonzo just because the setting's so weird. But basically, what you're saying is you don't want like slapstick comedy type gonzo.
Yeah, like for example, this isn't Operation Unfathomable where crazy shit happens and it's comical.
Right.
For example, I'm just referencing that one because it's like the first thing that comes to mind because I just finished that with Jason on like Sundays last month. So, so yeah. Apart from that, I think we have pretty much cats out of the way. So let's have the introduction of the current setting and what's going on. And for that, I'll say the basic premise. We'll introduce characters. I'll ask the establishing questions that I've posted to you guys. So here's the situation. And so the gate of heaven is broken. And this is bad because not only is the Polaris cut off from the rest of the universe, but souls can't get in. Like dead people can't go to heaven now. And that's the basics. Like we'll figure out who did it and why, like as we play the game. And there are some questions that will help establish like what's going on in reality. So let's start with introducing characters. So Vincent, tell us who your character is.
All right, I'm going to be playing Clarence, the thief of time and space, modeling them pretty heavily off of like David Tennant era Doctor Who, but a bit more of a dick.
All right. Can you elaborate on your character? Like, apart from they're like David Tennant, Doctor Who, but more of a dick.
Yeah. So he thinks of himself as very suave and kind of a interdimensional man of mystery, but is a little bumbly and will often get himself into trouble that he's not expecting to. But he always does it with a smile on his face. He's very friendly. Do you want a physical description at all? I know that there's not a look set on this.
If you want, like,
right.
We can leave it vague.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's tall and lanky, and seems to have just legs that go on and on and on. His torso is disproportionately small compared with his limbs.
All right. So I'm imagining like clamp anime figures or anime body style, like for example or like Lelouch Code Geass, like that kind of.
Not familiar with it specifically, but I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the legs and limbs and how everyone has like long thin legs and stuff. So yeah, so my questions, I think I'll go around in like I'll introduce everyone and then we'll have the questions. So the next one is Pat, tell us about your character.
Okay, my character is a ghost. He doesn't ever remember being alive. He doesn't know how he died or when he died. He's been a ghost for as long as he can remember. He doesn't know his name. People just refer to him as Guy. He's spectral, so he's see-through. So he wears all these robes and stuff so people, can tell he's there for the most part. And he's kind of grumpy. Like I imagine, like, if you think of like a grumpy old man, because they're advanced in age and, don't really care what other people think or anything like that. Yeah, just multiply that by 100 and that's Guy. He's just grumpy all the time, but yeah, physically
Also,
he's
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Maria.
And also he might be grumpy because he's dead and not in heaven. That might be a thing.
Right. Could be. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, he's spectral. A lot of times he looks like he's just floating around, but he does have legs. Sometimes they're just hard to see, depending on how the light's shining and all that. But he doesn't like people like staring at him too much, because he's different. But, to tell you the truth, he really doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
All right. Michael, can you tell us about your character?
Yes, my character's name is named Minoso, and she is the technician. And I've envisioned her as kind of a psionic gadgeteer person, like someone who's created machinery that can interact with what traditionally throughout history have been regarded as otherworldly or afterworldly or heavenly entities. But to her, it's all psionic energy and collective unconscious frequencies very, basically, she's all about quantifying and the ineffable into equations and scientific and energy readings and whatnot.
That is perfect for this part in this setting in particular. I think that will fit perfectly.
Yeah, I was racking my head trying to come up with a character that would ooze into this concept, and hopefully this will work out. But that's what I have right now. Is this the part where we address the questions?
Not yet.
The prompt? Okay. Well, in that case, I guess that's she. As far as appearance, I do have a picture of her. Along with, maybe I should mention should I mention my machines, or should I say
your machines, and then
so whatever your first machine is an XR sizer, which expunges. It's basically like imagine if the again, to go to Doctor Who, imagine if the sonic screwdriver was built just for exorcisms. It expunges psionic entities from a physical host. What you see her wearing in the picture I've picked is a mental enhancement helmet. Its main drawback, as you can see from the picture, it is not zero emissions compliant. It's got an exhaust pipe at the end. And her third machine is an easy bondit, which modifies, and I threw a whole bunch of technobabble here, modifies psionic collective unconsciousness gestalt constructs. That's basically the tool she'll use to hopefully fix the gate of heaven if she ever gets to that point.
All right. So, yeah, let's start with questions, starting with, I think the technician would be, since we have this this easy bonded, so let me grab the questions here. And so, technician, you know how to repair the gate. What do you need, and why do you not have it?
I'm not entirely. I'm still trying to figure out what I need, but I think. Tell me what you think about this. If the reason she doesn't have it is because she's an atheist, she doesn't believe in heaven, and she can't fix heaven if she doesn't believe in it, even though she can perceive it through her gadgets, and she recognizes that it's some kind of cosmic phenomenon of some kind, but since she doesn't accept it as the capital H heaven, that renders her incapable of repairing it. And she doesn't know why.
Yeah, that makes sense, or it makes sense in a weird esoteric way.
So maybe I guess you could say what she needs is
faith
to believe in heaven, and not just not just to know it or something like that.
I guess it's like fairy dust kind of thing. Like if you believe you can do it, if you believe hard enough, you can do it.
Right. It sounds very hokey, but I'm sure when we get to it, it's going to feel very profound.
Yeah. So the second part is, why do you not have it? Like, why do you not have faith or belief that heaven exists, other than you're an atheist? I guess why is your character an atheist?
Let's say that because of just the sheer amount of life in this universe, and the incredible expanse of belief. She hasn't found anyone unifying. Basically, there's just too many different explanations for the afterlife for her to believe that any one of them can be right.
God, which is hilarious considering like the one person who can show you this is trapped in heaven currently.
Oh,
so. So that was okay. So now we go to Space Ghost. You can't enter heaven. Why is it important that souls do so? And what will happen if the gate isn't fixed soon?
So, I mean, the laws say that, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be rearranged. So the problem with the souls not entering heaven is they're not able to be reprocessed into more living things. And all this energy that is getting trapped in the living world, it will just keep building up. It'll keep building up and building up and building up. And at a certain point of time, the balance will tip and something in space-time, thief, might rip open, and that could mean the end of the whole multiverse.
So Vincent just asked, has nothing been born since the big gate broke? Well, no one picked the mutants, so here's the question to the thief of time of space. You know who destroyed the gate. How do you know this information, and why haven't you told anyone yet?
Well, eventually it's going to be common knowledge in history books thousands of years from now. So I've just grown up knowing this from, at some point I picked it up. But the issue is that if that word got out before the gate was fixed, the gate probably wouldn't get fixed. And I'm here to interfere, but not in those kinds of matters.
All right. So what are you here to interfere with then?
Oh, just to pick up anything that's not nailed down.
Okay, cool. So I guess let's take a break, even though we've only been broadcasting for like 15 minutes, but we've been here for like 45. So, well, let's take a break. And when we get back, we'll start. Michael, are you there? Right. Let's give him a minute. But yeah, we forgot to do Bond, so we'll do that when he gets back. All right. Let's do bonds real quick. Starting with the thief of time and space. How do you want to answer those questions, or some of those questions?
How about I'll do one, and then I'll allow it to go in a circle, and
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
add in at least one more.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, so the first one I'm going to take is, whose boyfriend did you steal, and how'd that work out? And I believe I stole my Noso's boyfriend to take as my companion, and it worked out fine. Oh, you mean how did it work out for the boyfriend? Yeah, he fell into a sun, but I'm fine.
All right. Is that okay with Minoso? All right. Space Ghost, Guy, whoever. Do you have a bond question?
Sorry. I got who supports my mission. And I believe that is Minoso. Since my mission is to reopen Heaven's Gate, I think Minoso having her along to be able to fix it is my view of her supporting my mission, whether or not, she actually supports it.
All right. Minoso the technician, do you have a bond?
Yes, let's see. Perhaps which one do I have? Which one do I have something to prove to? And perhaps I have something to prove to Guy. And perhaps something in regards to the nature of heaven that do I have to say? Yeah, actually, I don't necessarily have to. I don't know. It looks like I just have. I have something to prove to him, and not. I don't necessarily need to answer what it is I need to prove. Just that I have something I need to prove to Guy. Is that right?
Yeah, like I would like to know what it is eventually, but if
Sure.
But if you don't know yet, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll be something along the lines of what we interpret heaven to actually be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Clarence, next question.
Okay. We have who knows incriminating details about you, and I think that Guy knows that before the gate collapsed, on one of my fun little adventures through time and space, I took a trip into that ethereal realm, and I've stolen an artifact from heaven.
Okay. Did it belong to Polaris or the Polaris?
Yeah, let's keep it interesting and say absolutely. What's something important to the Polaris? Or it could even be something that's unimportant, but it's the thought that counts.
All right. You stole a piece of red string that seems important in some degree. It was like, for some reason you thought it was important. Like it might, like for everyone else it looks like a piece of red string, but to you it seemed like it had a deeper meaning.
Okay. And I'm not sure if it doesn't seem to have any kind of special functional purpose, but it's the fact that I took it from heaven that I'm like, I am a great thief.
Yeah, probably. Like, I'm not like, it may or may not have anything to do with anything of value, but like, you stole it from heaven, so
Yeah.
that works.
I think I keep it tied around my finger to remind me of that time that I broke into heaven.
All right. Guy.
Okay. There was two I was looking at, but now that I know that Clarence has been to heaven, I'm gonna say Clarence saw how I died. But I don't even know that.
Ooh, I like it.
Clarence, do you know how, like, you saw how Guy died, but do you, as like in the meta sense, know what it is?
I don't yet. I can think of possibilities, but I want to save them to see what direction things go in a little bit.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll probably start sharing the threads of the idea in the chat before we get to like a full reveal of it.
All right. Minoso or Minoso? I forgot.
Minoso.
Minoso. Okay. You have second question.
Yeah. So my second question is, who helps me most with my machines? And I'm going to say the answer is Clarence, and he helps me most with my machines because he steals components for me from throughout space and time, so I can build my special machines.
All right.
Why he does that, I don't know. Maybe he feels guilty for stealing my boyfriend. Who knows? But I'll leave that up to Clarence.
He was no good for you.
All right. So, let's begin. I'm guessing at least Minoso and Guy are together because Guy insists. I guess Guy insists on it. If it's okay with you, because of the holy mission thing.
Yeah. Perhaps I'm even pestering Minoso about it.
And I'm not sure where Clarence is right now, but Minoso and Guy are definitely in the middle of the desert right now.
Oh, okay.
And I want to know how you got there and why and why are you like, first of all, how did you get there? How do you get it here in the middle of buttfuck nowhere?
I'm going to say that maybe once the entryway to heaven got shut down, it created a galaxy-wide crisis of faith, and everyone just like went apeshit. And maybe whatever space cruiser are on when that all went down crashed on this planet. Not to be too Star Wars about it, but I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
All right.
What do you think?
So how long has it been since the gate of heaven was destroyed, or since it broke down?
I think we're not sure because time, like when it shut down, it like kind of messed up time. Like sometimes it speeds up, sometimes it slows down. So we're not really sure like how long ago it happened. It might have been 5 minutes ago for all we know.
Yeah, and Guy has been a ghost for like a while, so it's like time is definitely weird here, and so
that's right, you're a ghost.
So yeah, I think you're stranded in the middle of the desert. As you see the wreckage, there are like almost no survivors, or you can assess if you want to check if there are any. But as far as you can see, no one seems to be alive.
Am I able to tell where are there like are there soul signatures still lingering about?
That you can analyze, I think, with your advanced sensors.
Yeah. Oh, that's a move. How about that?
Yes.
I can do the thing where I click the button.
Click the
And
button.
see, that's a madness thing. Oh, ask a question about Oh, I just asked the question. Let's see what happens. Then I
Oh,
go here.
don't add the plus to the thing. So I'm gonna say that's a 7. It looks like, but remove the pluses to your
Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay, sure.
yeah, because it
It messes up the macro.
yeah, the macro is finicky, but that's a 7. So useful and interesting. So yes, there are soul signatures here, but that's pretty obvious considering that there's no way for them to ascend or go to wherever they need to go, so they're just stuck here.
So one thing I've noticed is that any souls that would, according to common belief, go to hell. As far as we know, there's no gateway to hell closed down. So presumably, if anyone died and were destined to go there, their souls would have proceeded unimpeded.
Which, as far as your sensors go, none of, like, pretty much the same amount of souls that you had when starting out, they're still here. It's just they haven't gone anywhere.
What are the odds of an entire space cruiser being full of people who were slated to go to heaven until they panicked and stopped believing in heaven? Very curious.
That's all we need is more souls. It's going to screw everything up. We need to get that gate fixed.
Right. The closing the circuit. Yeah, reconnecting the circuit, as it were. It's if nothing else, it has a clearly demonstrable negative effect on people's psyches here. I mean, that much is incontrovertible. I won't argue on that much. People just can't handle not being able to go, not really thinking they can go to heaven.
Oh, don't worry about their psyches. I mean, once they're dead, they're just supposed to be drawn to one place, and it's not drawing them anymore.
Well, I'm more worried about what people here think about that. You saw how nuts everyone went one day. I mean, the captain, starts with the captain blowing his brains out, and then I don't know how did the ship's cook end up in charge of the ship? I guess that explains how he crash landed.
I've been watching The Living a long time, and to tell you the truth, nothing surprises me.
All right. Well, what do you think's going on?
You talking about with the ship in particular, or with the general situation of us being stuck in a desert?
Oh, right, stuck in a desert. I guess that's the first problem.
So, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Continue.
Oh, well, maybe I can salvage something from the wreckage, be able to get us back space-worthy.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I mean, I could go look around the area. I don't need any water or anything, so I don't have to worry about, dying of thirst.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Hey, sometimes it does have its perks.
Well, if nothing else, it doubles my supplies, so I guess it's a win-win.
Hey, as we were flying in, you didn't happen to see any, settlements around here, did you?
I was too busy trying to wrestle the rabbi and the priest off me.
You should have just listened to him instead of fighting him.
Well, yeah, perhaps. But I guess yeah, if you wouldn't mind surveying the area. I don't even know where we are right now.
Is there anything you need me to bring back
Let's see. Well,
besides water?
sure. I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could manufacture some shade. I guess the biggest thing would be if you could find any signs of life around here.
Will do. Do you want me to bring them back?
Yeah. Well, as long as they seem safe, sure. And then in the meantime, I'll see what I can do about maybe salvaging one of the escape pods or something. Re-engineer it to be capable of escaping orbit.
All right. So I guess I'm gonna go look around for some living people.
All right. So I think Guy goes away for a bit. Clarence, how do you travel through space and time?
So I have a TARDIS-like device. Mine does not take the form of a blue police box, though. Mine takes the form of a wooden coffin.
All right.
What wasn't a preferred design? I stole somebody else's. I didn't really have my own functioning one, and one of the other Time Lords just wanted everyone to think that he was a vampire. I don't know.
So I think after Guy has gone looking for people, Minoso sees this wooden coffin come out of the sky and pretty much crash where the crash was.
So it's just a crash into a crash.
Yes.
Right. Knowing who this is, I just sigh and well, actually no, I don't sigh because maybe he's our ticket off of here. If I can stand the presence of him. But anyway, I'm forgetting. I'm reviewing our bonds again. I know you still want boyfriend. Well, but you make up for because you get me stuff, so it's all good. Anyway, yeah, I'll head towards the coffin.
And as you approach, the door of it opens up, and I sit up out of it, stand up and take the steps that lead out of the coffin and start to surveil my surroundings. And I see you, my eyes go wide, and I start going back in the coffin.
Oh no. I'll see if I can cram my hands into the coffin to keep him from being able to shut the lid entirely.
Oh. Fancy seeing you here, Minoso.
Yeah, it's I can't buy that this is a coincidence. Did you?
Well, I just thought that I would drop in. My understanding that this is the whole period of time where ghosts are just kind of hanging out everywhere. I was thinking of taking a couple of them back home as a power source.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Of course. That's power source. I make an internal note to do that and say, oh yeah, of course. I can. I've been working on that myself, and as I note to myself, investigate. He says, yes. There has been an unseemly accumulation throughout the universe of psionic ether energy. It's sorry, I was just there. Thought I heard something. That's we were in fact my friend Guy and I were on our way to try to investigate the enclosure that's been causing the blockage in energy flow when our ship crash landed here. You weren't tracking us deliberately.
Oh, would I track you deliberately? Okay, I was tracking you deliberately. but I foresee great things out of you. I don't want you to rush anything, but I think there's some opportunity here. What have you found so far amongst all these ruins?
No, nothing. We just crashed here, so we haven't found much of anything yet.
Where's Guy, by the way?
I'm surveying the area to see if there's any signs of corporeal life.
Well, perhaps
in the meantime.
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. I insist.
Anyway, I don't suppose you'd be willing to give us a lift, would you?
Oh, I don't know how much room there is, and it typically, if you're looking to get out of this time and to some other time, I mean, I need to charge it, and that's going to take a lot of ghosts.
No, that's fine. We were planning. I wasn't hoping to do any temporal travel.
If you just mean getting
strictly
off
spatial. Yeah, strictly spatial.
Absolutely. Would be glad to have you aboard.
I do appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully once Guy gets back, we can be on our way. You've met Guy, right? You know Guy, don't you?
We've had interactions.
Okay.
Yes.
Small universe.
Yeah.
So, of course, you. I guess you're still operating under the law of no spoilers.
We try to keep them to a minimum at least, and I don't want to have any shifts out of your own timeline. Hints, not spoilers.
Well,
all right. Well, let me go ahead and prepare the coffin. You go try to track down Guy.
Yeah, I'll get him. I'll get a message to him. I'll open up a line.
All right. And I head back in, and as I close the coffin lid, you notice that something is missing. What is it?
Well, let's see. What is it? That's a good question. It's I guess it's got to be the easy bonded, right? If you're looking to, or it could be the exerciser. If you're looking to like harness some ghosts, maybe you could use the exerciser to.
Yeah, that if I can find ones that are currently within that are possessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, ethereal signatures, e-cigs, I like to call them, once they, yeah, it doesn't take long for them to learn how to remanifest within, or to, form a symbiotic relationship with existing life forms. So it wouldn't be too hard to find them, find something that you could kick out of its host and then I don't know, funnel into your engine or something, whatever it is that you do. So yeah, that's probably the thing you stole.
All right.
Oh wait, have I actually noticed that, or you just?
I'm using the move spend time, which says when you spend time somewhere or with someone, you may surreptitiously take an object with you when you leave, as long as no one was keeping an eye on it.
Okay. Well, I will certainly enjoy the knowledge of that, even if Minoso does not yet.
All right. So, Guy, let us have you assess to figure out what's going on.
Okay, let's see.
Assess his mind.
It's an 11.
All right, cool. So on a 10 plus. Oh, sorry. Your question was like you have to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
First.
Yeah, my question was: is there anybody living around here that can help us out?
So hold up. All right. So in the distance, you see a small sediment, a ghost town, if you will. Almost. Well, almost, because there's still people around. It's just not super populated. So it's almost a ghost town. And as you wander in, you find someone who you find actually like a small group of people who will go out with you and check the wreckage out. So yeah, you're coming back with this group of like 5 or 6 people, and you see, and I'm guessing the coffin is still there, right? Or have you gone elsewhere, Clarence?
It's still there.
All right, cool. So you go back and you see the coffin, and Minoso's still there, right? So yeah, they lead you to. So yeah, they like. All right. Are you okay? Are there any other survivors or?
Nah, there's only one survivor. That was Minoso here. I don't need to survive anything. I'm already dead, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah. And they look at the ghosts. We should probably take care of them as well. Looking at all the dead people who are like souls now. So they take you all to the town. Clarence, do you want to follow?
Yeah, I'll come along.
All right. They might not notice you yet, but
yeah, I thought of having something a bit more dramatic, and maybe just like as I'm following, I'm testing out the exorciser on them, seeing it, trying to determine if any of them are possessed with the ghost.
I'm think that is not something dangerous, and that's not really one of your moves, and it's not really dangerous. So they're not possessed. They're either dead or like none of the bodies have 2 souls, basically.
Okay.
But yet, every time you turn it on, it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
What, this?
All right.
Cut it out, Clarence.
I think Minoso now notices that that's your exorciser.
Oh, come on. All right. You could have just asked.
I think it's broken.
No, it's working.
Yeah, here
I can feel it.
Right. All right. Very cute. I'll take it. I'll take that back now. Thank you.
Of course.
So
you could have shot your own e-cig out of your own body. How'd you like that?
I've never tried it before.
I've seen it happen. It's painful. I think more so for the living than the e-cig.
Anyway, what did you find, guy?
Yeah, some people living, if you want to call it living. I don't. Scraping out a mere existence on this barren rock.
So no one that could really help us.
Now they seem really interested in the bodies. I don't know. Maybe they have some sort of ritual.
They're like, they're taking the souls. I mean.
Oh, so they're not taking the bodies.
They're not taking the bodies. They're taking the souls. So like, all of you guys.
I could use those souls.
Yeah. So basically, it's like you guys plus the entire crew, like everyone who was in the ship is now going to this town.
So how are they transporting the souls?
I think they're walking.
Oh, so
Or
like the
floating.
souls are like ghosts following them?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
can
guessing.
we communicate with the souls or?
Yeah, well, I think so since we can communicate with you. So.
Well, see, I'm different. I'm the space ghost, so like I've been
Oh,
here
okay.
forever.
So, I guess not in that case. So they can. I guess they're floating around in that case. So.
Okay.
Um.
I'm getting a bad feeling about this. Seeing that they seem to be collecting all these souls that I wanted. Is this an appropriate time to survey a dangerous area or not?
Yes.
Okay.
And what special move did you get? Because I know what the other two have. But what did you pick
Oh wait, what do I pick?
from special moves?
Oh, from my special moves, I have burglar.
Okay. Just making sure. I thought so, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and do my survey. So I got a 9.
All right. Survey, dangerous area. Ask to.
Okay. What all is dangerous here?
So, when you approach the town, you recognize the town. You've been here before.
Have I been here before, or will I be here again?
I think you will be here again, and and it's like there's a creature underneath the town, and it actually feeds on souls.
Let's see here. Oh, that makes all the other questions so much more fun. What causes the danger to activate?
The danger activates pretty much. So the townsfolk here maintain it, and they just they like and relate and they just feed this thing the soul. So basically, when it activates, when the townsfolk present the souls to the thing, and it eats them.
Yeah, I have a really bastard idea if you're open to it, Maria.
All right.
And that, like, you know, it sounds like if they bring souls from other places, it's fairly dormant, and that's the way that they, you know, keep it placated.
Yeah.
But what if it's activated if a immediately fresh soul enters the area?
That could work.
Okay, because I have something very dangerous that I could do next.
Yeah, like I think so. In that case, like I'm guessing the townsfolk also have like a psychic connection with this creature, and I think like Minoso would sense, well, not sense it immediately unless they're actively looking for it.
Yeah, I think I'm telling Minoso about this.
And
as we're going along, I'm like, spoiler alert, but, and then explain all these things. I'm like, and I have an idea.
So there's an entity underneath this town that consumes e-cigs. It consumes soul energy.
Yeah, it's relatively dormant, but I think it could be very useful to us if we were to harness it.
Well, absolutely. It would be an immediate way of expunging the harmful excess ethereal soul energy from this continuum without having to reopen the gate to heaven.
Does Guy overhear this? Are you saying this around Guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Don't you have a way also that you could just have been listening?
Yeah, that's a roll.
That's a roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that separate unless you were out purposely making this private conversation.
I would like to just to get more mechanics flowing.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fine.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you wanted to like dust off more moves, sure.
Yeah, I'll roll. Okay, so I roll space. What else rolls space? So I could just use the macro. Manipulate objects. Ooh, I rolled a 5.
Ooh.
So I believe for Fantomas, you are captured, restrained, or a prisoner on a 6 or less. So I think how that happens is more like you are walking into town, and I think that's when, like, while this conversation is going on, I think you were walking into town, like walking and talking, and then suddenly you feel something tug at you with great force, guy.
Are they like? Oh, I don't even know this thing's under the town because I wasn't privy to the conversation. I look around. What's tugging on me?
Well, I think you do know that because you know regardless. It's like you decide you are secretly watching a scene you're already in, and it doesn't say on ahead you actually are. So I think it's like, and the implication with the 6 minus is that you were listening, but they captured you.
Gotcha.
But
I'm just twisting that around to make it so that they're actually, it's actually like too late to like, you know what it is, but you're already in town, so it's tugging at you.
Okay. Is it this thing that's tugging at me, or is it the people?
Yes, it is this thing.
I'm like let go of me, you foul creature. I'm not one of your measly souls to eat.
Right.
I'm special.
I think that is doing something dangerous if you want to avoid.
And to help or interfere, do I do that after he rolls?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say yes. Or you can, or actually no, do it beforehand to see if you get into trouble or not.
Okay. So it's going to be a 2d6 plus 1. Yeah. I've forgotten what the actual command is.
/R.
Yeah.
Hey, you get a +1, I think.
Yep.
All right. And do something dangerous. Hey, good. That brought me up to just
good
passing.
Thing I helped.
All right, cool. So on a 7, there are complications and consequences. I think, yeah, you break free from the creature, but now the creature is coming out of the earth, and with its giant ethereal maw, and it goes and like it's a maw that, like, it looks kind of like a cross between a mouth and also like a flashlight in the maw part, and it seems to be sucking things in, but now it's pointed at you guys. And
we need to create a distraction.
Who has the souls? Bring them over here. Who's controlling all the souls?
The towns, yeah, it's sucking all, like, the townsfolk are running for their lives at this point, and now, and the souls are already starting to be sucked by this thing.
Okay. I have an idea, and maybe I'd have to consult knowledge first to be able to see if this is an idea that could work. But I had the idea of just shooting a person to get a fresh soul in the area.
I think that would work. So I think that is...
It's like a do something dangerous with Lucky.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. That's an 8.
There will also be a consequence.
So you shoot a random guy, and the first soul is now there. So your intended action, I guess, is to draw its attention away.
Yeah.
So I think it does, but then you let me think about a proper consequence. I think there's just not enough time because it's sucking these souls like so quickly. And so or it's either that or
Well, I think the townspeople probably wouldn't be too happy about this.
yeah, that makes sense as well. So the townspeople start grabbing their own weapons and priming them at you guys.
Oh, great.
So
Clarence, why you gotta go around shooting everything?
It was a desperate situation. A desperate action needed to be taken. We needed to get a fresh soul in the area, and the quickest way to get one is to shoot somebody.
And what
If
did
you
that
have a better
prove?
idea, I would have
What
been.
did that prove?
I could have forged just e-sig. I could have forged an e-signature, you know.
Well, next time, speak up when I take out my gun.
Okay, I'll speak up when you secretly take out a gun and shoot someone without warning us. Fine.
Look, Clarence, I appreciate the help of you getting me out of that thing's grasp, but look, you need to get out of here. Like, now.
Yeah, let's get back to the wreckage. I think we got to get out of here.
all right. So yeah, the townsfolk are now shooting at you guys.
Oh boy.
I think this is a do something dangerous for all of you guys actually.
We're all in danger.
You're all in
All right.
danger.
Yeah, I got a 4.
All right.
Could I burglar instead to bypass obstacles meant to keep me in? I'm fine with do something dangerous if
It's do
that's-
something dangerous because I don't think you're bypassing an obstacle per se.
Okay.
It,
Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do that stealthily.
all right.
And I would like to do something dangerous with my machines. That is using my mental enhancement helmet to, in my head, calculate the optimum path to avoid all the deadly projectiles and energy beams coming my way.
That makes sense.
All right. Science.
All right. So
Ooh.
consequences.
Science. Oh, and I'm still messing up my rolls. Oh no, wait. I'm scrolling down to. No, my rolls are fine. Okay, I thought I had still. Okay.
So, I think you let's start with Minoso. Minoso, you managed to dodge the bullets. Well, most of them. I think your mental enhancement helmet will be damaged in the process.
Oh, it's probably leaking something not good.
And Clarence, you are you're gonna leave something behind, and I want to know what that is.
I think everyone would be pretty happy if I end up just dropping the gun.
All right. And I think, unfortunately, like a guy has to suffer harm at this point.
Okay, so I roll my suffer harm move.
Yeah.
All right. And that's an 8.
So yeah, so you become insubstantial instead of suffering harm, and so some other complication. So basically, as you're running away, well, not only this is an addition to the complication, but you drop your clothes because now you're insubstantial. So yeah, you kind of drop your clothes. I think the consequence is that this is like maybe even compounded with the fact that Minoso's helmet has been damaged. But when you address Minoso, you don't seem to get a response from it. What are their pronouns? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I guess she.
All right, you don't get a response from her. Like you can't communicate with Minoso, and Minoso, you don't see Guy anywhere.
So Minoso can't hear me.
Correct.
Okay. Can anybody hear me? Like if I'm just start screaming, can anybody hear me?
Clarence, what are you?
I'm a Time Lord. I would say like,
Yeah.
here's my thing, because I'm a right bastard. I think that if I can hear you, I'm pretending that I can't.
All
right.
So
I'm like, Guy's been caught. We have to get out of here. He's going to be eaten by that weird ethereal creature. Quick, we have to get back to the coffin.
One thing, it occurs to me that if it eats ethereal creatures, do I necessarily have anything to fear from it? With that in mind, I'm going to quickly, but yet unpanickedly, read my sensors to see if I can detect Guy.
I think, yeah. The thing is, that's exactly what's damaged.
Oh, of course. Curses. All right. Well, I'm just in that case. Oh,
In actuality, I'm just standing right beside y'all, and you just can't see me.
And also, you can't touch them because you're insubstantial, and
Right.
you can't see him also because you drop your clothes.
Actually, can I try to move my clothes back over to me?
You're insubstantial.
Right, but I have a move for manipulate objects, which uses space.
Let me look at that. In a complex, yeah, sure, you can try.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna try to bring my clothes over to me, and hopefully slap Clarence along the side of the head when they fly by. Let's see. Manipulate. Yay! There we go.
Yeah, you get your clothes back. They're, I guess, floating now.
okay. And do we see that as well?
Yeah, you see the clothes floating back to where.
There it is.
Guy's supposed to.
Thank goodness. I thought we lost you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm standing right next to Clarence, so like the robes just like pass, just like right over his forehead.
All right. Well, now that we're back on this, now that we're more or less on the same plane of reality, let's head back to the wreckage and get off this rock.
And we book it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no joking. Sorry. That was too gonzo.
I mean, you can joke. It's just not to the extent.
Yeah, not in character. Check.
Or like, well, okay. So let's go back to the wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically on like. Well, you can move with the coffin, I guess, but in.
I say, please just be very careful. It's roughly the same size on the inside as it is on the outside.
Oh boy.
Is it true?
Yeah, it is extra dimensional, but not nearly on the same scale as the TARDIS.
Okay.
It's a very small craft.
Okay. Well, fortunately, Guy is incorporeal, so that's actually working that's advantage us, I guess.
All right. So I guess you stuff inside the craft, and where do you want to go?
Guy, where was? Oh wait, we can't actually communicate with Guy yet, can we?
No.
Oh no, I can hear him.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
No. Guy, if use your clothes to knock in Morse code against the wall, and please give us the coordinates to where this the gate of heaven is.
Clarence, I know you can hear me.
Guy, that's going to take ages. Don't knock once.
You're a Time Lord. What are you doing?
Clarence, please tell Minoso to quit yelling.
He's fine. You don't have to yell.
Yeah, it's not that big in here. I don't have ears, but it still hurts. Yeah, just tell them we just to use the sensors to find the biggest point of ethereal energy in this sector, and that's probably close to where the gate is.
Oh, I could have done that. Sure, I'll just head us towards the biggest anomalous energy signature in the sector.
All right. So
where are all the cells clogged up?
All right. So, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how timing. I think you get there. But let's have on the way. Clarence, you feel the string tied on your finger.
Mm.
It's moving.
I know I didn't list like a wallet or a box or anything like that on my adventuring gear, but I think it feels like a good time to try to stick it in somewhere. Maybe I have like a little like Ziploc bag that I try to take it out and try to like seal it, and I see it curling and spinning.
Yeah. And
tying itself into knots and untying itself.
Like, that's a nice red string there, Clarence.
Shut up.
Are we taking it somewhere with us?
It seems to be wanting to go somewhere.
I know where it wants to go, but your secret is safe with me.
Oh my God. Sorry. So yeah, this is on the way there. So, so do you want to inquire as to what's going on? Because you're literally in the same space.
Yeah. So I see the string moving. Oh boy, I almost just go like, oh, now what? And then I'll just scan the string to see what's going on. Guy, I'm gonna assume, is that you, Guy? And then I scan it to see what could be moving that string.
I'm not moving it.
Yeah, I think you have to first fix your thing.
Oh right, I've got it. That's right, I've got it.
You have to fix it, and that's a move.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll take the helmet off, and it's probably like emitting on kinds of like noxious fumes. I don't know why I just haven't taken the time to get this. I knew I should have gone for the electric model, but oh well. Yeah, let me see if I can. I'll go ahead and try to fix this thing. Oh, there's a move for that. Am I triggering it now then?
Yes, it is.
Be careful with that, because as you might have noticed, this craft isn't that large. I really hope nothing goes wrong.
Okay, I'll try not to stay so sorry. Get ready to vent just in case.
Okay, so you're
what?
fiddling with it. You're fiddling with it. You think you have it fixed. You put it on, and suddenly your mind goes blank, and you see heaven.
Oh.
And it just like looks not like you've expected, but also kind of like you've expected. Tell us what that's like.
Well, there's going to be the blinding light. There's going to be, I'm going to say that at least for some time after the experience is over, I may not actually be able to see. Maybe it's a psychosomatic, and although there won't be any nerve damage to my eyes, it'll be strictly a psychosomatic thing. I think I basically just see, yeah, just like maybe just like an infinity of like fists and wailing and fists pounding against the wall that will not open up. And I just kind of like, I might be experiencing some synesthesia over here, where I'm actually like hearing and perhaps even smelling and tasting this wretched sight before me, because my because my sensory system doesn't know how to process this information. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, I think that's basically that's what I think what I'm going to be seeing, including maybe no, I wouldn't be seeing people from our wreckage because they're still on the planet, or I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, no, they got eaten by a giant monster, so no.
Oh yeah, that. Yes.
So I think what's going on is that you see Vega the Polaris also like yelling at them to stop, and you see the chains of like some chains like going over her side of heaven.
Oh, chain. That's interesting. Like almost like they're trying to siege it.
No, like on her side, like she is trying to keep them out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's new information.
All right.
And we do know about Vega, right? And,
yeah, you know she's the Polaris. She's basically essentially God.
Okay.
At this point in time.
Yeah. So whenever I come out with it, I'll probably just be like, like I'll probably would have just thrown myself against the floor, like kind of like trying to shield my eyes. And when I guess when I come to, I'll just be like, where's everyone? Hello?
Are you okay?
I seem to have
you've been blacked out for hours.
Hours. Well, yes. I seem to be experiencing a loss of vision. Yes, I am not seeing anything. That's what do my eyes look like? Is there any physical damage?
Oh, you were asking me. No,
I was asking them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I guess I take
by default,
my sonic screwdriver and just have like a light shine out to check your eyes. Yes, I'm doing a examination. I'd actually like to consult my knowledge to try to make sense of what has happened.
All right, that makes sense. Do that.
Okay.
That is a 9. The GM tells you something useful and interesting.
I'm sorry, Vincent. I just saw the note you sent me. It's not too late. I like that.
Yeah.
I could have seen the boyfriend.
Yeah, I think, you do see the boyfriend. It's just you were caught up in this vision and this fucking moment of epiphany almost.
Yeah, it might be something I'm just realizing now that I definitely saw.
Yeah. But I still have to tell Clarence something useful and interesting about Minoso's eyes. I think it's more like how, like in the glint of her eyes now, I'm not sure like how if this would be applied to like your belief, Minoso.
Mm-hmm.
But you see that you feel that she can now fix the gate of heaven.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe even what I see just strictly physically is your irises have galaxies within them.
Okay.
Like you're within your eyes are the entire cosmos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
And I guess I don't really know where I'm going with this whole blindness thing, so I guess I'll leave this up to you, Maria, for whenever I regain my normal vision.
Yeah, you regain it pretty quickly. It's not a permanent thing.
Can you see me now?
Mm-hmm.
The machine is fixed, so yeah, you can detect.
Oh, all right. Well, before anything else, let me I'll just get my brain back on, and then then the normal non-threatening level of toxic fumes starts getting emitted from my non-emissions compliant mental enhancement helmet. Okay, so I was analyzing that is the red string still here?
Yes, the red string is still here.
Where? Let me, Clarence. I'm going to ask you where did you steal that from? And I do say steal immediately because I just assume.
No, I really don't remember. Sometimes I mean, like, maybe if I had it tied around my finger again, I would remember.
Was it perhaps an extra dimensional plane?
I am offended. You would even, yeah, it was. Before the game collapsed. I took a quick trip over there. It was quite fantastic.
You were there?
And the coffin is a fairly resilient device.
Did you see what caused the collapse?
Can't really talk about it.
Spoilers. Why not? Oh, spoilers. Okay. Very well. Anyway, I had a feeling that you had acquired it in the we'll call it the astral zone. Because
Clarence, when I start talking. Are you sure you don't want to come clean about that string?
I thought that we just did.
Yeah.
Well, when I analyzed it,
yeah, no, I stole it from heaven. This is pretty well established at this point.
Right. But see, I know the secret of who you stole it from. That was one of your bonds.
It was hanging out there. I didn't have a lot of time while I was there. I just ducked in, took the first thing I could, ducked out. Bob's your uncle. Red piece of string.
Should be careful taking stuff from other planes. You don't know how they'll react when you bring them back to your own.
Well, I can tell you how I reacted when I tried to analyze the energy coming off that thing. I somehow made mental contact with the gate itself, and I actually saw Vega, and Vega was seen to be deliberately keeping the gate closed with I saw it as chains. I'm sure that was just my mind, my limited mind interpreting what I'm sure is a very complex energy phenomenon that wouldn't and not actual chains, because that's like far too prosaic.
Hey,
but
that can't be right. Vega would never do that.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw,
But the destruction of space-time would destroy Vega as well. It would destroy everything. There'd be nothingness.
So I have a quick question out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was in heaven, presumably, when he saw Clarence. What made you leave heaven and now have to come back? Or are you going back?
We can say that maybe at one point I was in heaven, but Vega won't let me back in.
That makes sense.
For reasons unknown, because you can't argue with a god.
Okay, that makes sense.
I hope you're not the reason he's shut the gate to everyone else.
She,
thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I do know how Maria, you said that Minosa knows how to fix the gate now?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to immediately start trying to record everything I know. I'll just be entering it onto my iPad 300 or whatever edition they're on at this point in time, and I'll just start trying to document what I know furiously, just to back it up in case something happens to me. Redundancy is going to be our failsafe in case something bad happens to me before we solve this problem.
I think that one of the things that you recognize, like from your vision in traditional depictions of Vega. There's a gown that she wears that has all kinds of different colors to it. And in the vision that you saw, the red was missing from the classical depictions.
Interesting. So I have a theory that string is not really a string. That it's simply it's an integral piece of the energy matrix that maintains that Vega uses to maintain control over the gate, and somehow it got dislodged, and there's the piece.
Well, also she was yelling at them to get the fuck out, pretty much.
Oh, right. Well, there's that too. Yeah. Right. So the red string is a part of this robe that Vega wears. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love it. So
okay. So yeah. So now, if we could just maybe maybe we need. I mean, we must need to restore this fragment back into the matrix, the robe matrix, I guess you could call it. To see if
the robe matrix, though.
Yeah, to see if we could. I don't know. Maybe that's. But how do we get past an angry, vengeful Vega? Well,
I can handle Vega.
All right. Okay. You called it better than me.
Yeah. If you can get us close enough, I should be able to get us by.
All right.
She owes me something anyways.
Oh.
I got to get back in there.
Well, yeah. If you could distract Vega in time for, and if I can somehow restore this lattice, this matrix, yeah, maybe that's what we need to do to restore the flow of energy out of this universe.
Right. So everyone, take your second special move at this point, since we are kind of halfway through. And we are going to have a break before we do this whole thing, if that's okay with you guys.
Sounds good. How many minutes?
5 to 10.
5 to 10. Cool.
Okay.
All right, and I'm taking disguise as my next special move.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I'm taking the disguise.
Okay.
Second special.
All right, I will ask that afterwards. Okay. But good to know. Thank you. All right. Vincent and Michael, are you there? All right. And let me mute Michael for a sec since he's typing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, never mind. In that case, so I know that now Clarence has burglar in disguise. What did that guy pick? He has Fantomas and what else?
I'm gonna go with the spirit of science. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Perhaps Minoso's outfitted me with a few gadgets on the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe I found some stuff that Clarence had stashed away on his coffin.
That also makes sense. And Minoso, you have assimilate and your second move.
Having seen Dare Parsonet in my vision of heaven, I have opted to develop the Lazarus device.
All right. So you can reconfigure any one of your machines. So.
That's how it works. Okay. So basically, when the time comes, if the time comes, that's when I. Okay. Cool.
All right. So you get.
I was gonna add just some flavor to disguise, which is that in transit, I'm working on putting together a solid angel disguise for myself.
All right, that works. Tell us what a solid angel disguise looks like.
Oh, white robes, wings, the standards. I might actually dig around because there are some cool depictions of angels from like Dante that get a bit more weird. I'll try to find a good picture and I'll add it to the Pinterest.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'm not sure if you can add to the Pinterest, but you can post a picture. So, anyways, any last preparations before you arrive at like near the gate of heaven?
I think I'm good. I can always just whip up whatever I need on the fly if it comes to that.
Okay. Guy, do you do anything before arriving?
No, not besides making sure I got my robe on and it's tied around like whatever ethereal substance is there to hold my robes. I don't want to drop my robes again.
All right. So you arrive just outside the gates of heaven, right? That was your destination?
Yep, I assume so.
So you're there and it's crowded AF for obvious reasons. There's like 100,000 souls trapped inside with the number growing by the second. Or trapped outside, rather. And so, Minoso, this is probably overwhelming. Like, there's a lot of signatures.
Yeah, I'm realizing maybe I should have prepared for this situation more, but I was, like
you just saw heaven, so it's fine. But
distracting.
But it's still a little distracting. Yes.
Sure. Well, I guess I could try. Well, if it gets debilitating, I'll try to develop some I don't know, spirit goggles or something, but hopefully it won't come to that.
All right. So I think you're walking through the crowds of people. All right. Let me look at the pic that. All right, Bayonetta angels, because they're always awesome. Yes, I agree. I agree. Go for it. So
that's cool.
I might be wrong, but I'm guessing Clarence is telling people to move out of the way, or because Like, I like. Tell me if anything is wrong with this scenario, but I think Clarence is telling people to move out of the way because the person who is here to fix the gate is here, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I like that. I think that I'm presenting myself as an official emissary who has sought across the vast expanses of the universe to find one mortal capable of restoring the gate and allowing the souls of the faithfully departed access to the realms of the afterlife and the ever after.
All right. So they let you pass.
They're like, yeah, we know. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry. So they let you go pass, and you're standing right at the gates of heaven. Stakes are pretty high, so so what do you do?
Right. So are we up at the gate right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, what do we do? Maybe at this point I could see. I'm opening up my character sheet again. Well, I could try to calibrate my exerciser. If I normally use it to expunge psionic entities from a physical host, maybe I could use it to also disrupt a psionic barrier that is keeping these e-cigs keeping these e-cigs trapped within this continuum.
Well, I think you were gonna use the easy bonded to fix the gate.
Oh, right.
The gate is broken.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting gadget number 3.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I guess I need to utilize that, and it's I'm gonna envision it's kind of like maybe a bazooka sized contraption with kind of an opening array of various probes and electronic emitters that can reach into the psionic plane.
All right. I still need you to roll to fix or modify a machine.
Yes.
And I'm happy to help with that role.
How are you helping?
I'm using my sonic screwdriver to help amplify the effect of whatever he's doing.
All right, cool. Use your sonic screwdriver to fuck with heaven's gates. Okay, I like that. I mean, it kind of does everything at this point, so.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 9. So I will
right.
expose myself to danger, but you will get a +1 on your roll.
Thank you.
All right.
And now I'm rolling a fixed machine roll. Is that what you had designated?
Wait, that's a +1, not a -1, right? For bonds?
Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, so it says -1 right there. So I think you got like an 11.
Oh, I got a
actually.
10. I got an 11. Wow.
Yeah.
Why did it?
I don't know why it says -1 right now, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so I'm not exposed to danger. That's good.
Oh wait. So it's help or interfere, I think.
Yeah, and I helped.
Yeah. So yeah, it's plus bonds, not plus.
And I have 1 bond.
Yeah. So, all right. So so you have a +1 to fixing a machine. So roll plus science +1.
Thank you. All right. And I get a.
That's an 8. Total.
Yes.
Choose one.
I think it's oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I think I'll just go for a simple it's back in proper working order.
All right. I think the complications is pretty obvious. It's like it's working now, but now you are facing off against the very pissed off Polaris.
Right.
And all the souls of heaven are rushing in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ghost Stampede.
Yeah, your ghost stampede. Though you feel it more as a splitting headache more
Yeah.
than so like than like actual getting trampled by ghosts.
Right. It's strictly a neurological phenomenon.
Right.
Well,
So yeah, the Polaris Vega is staring at you. What and giving you a look at the three of you.
Oh, I wasn't there. I was still on the ship. I was still messing with the gadgets and stuff. They just left me on there.
he
All
wants
right.
a dramatic last minute.
I'm still in the coffin.
Okay.
Yeah, he wants a
Okay,
dramatic
so
last
you're still in
minute.
the coffin.
Yeah, I'm still in the coffin because I was like trying to figure out these gadgets I found and the one that Minoso gave me. And I was still looking at them, and I turned around. They were gone.
All right, cool.
So I say, "Oh, most benevolent Polaris Vega, I have traveled across the universe to bring back to you this famed technician." I am trying to do something dangerous by bluffing.
Yes.
Dangerous to me.
Dangerous to to both of you because if she noticed this, you're lying. Then yeah, no, this is definitely something dangerous.
That's an 8. So you complete your intended action, but there are complications or consequences.
So, so she's like,
That is the messed up thing with PBTA. Is that you can do the most insane things, and as long as you get a 7 to 9.
yeah, I know, but like she's speechless. But then she recovers and says, "Yes, come in." Like she's clearly seething, but she's let you in.
I flash a thumbs up.
Right.
I'll try to explain. Vega, and I'm still wincing from the pain of everyone of all the spirits rushing past. It's we had to discharge all this excess ethereal energy. It was wrecking environmental havoc throughout the galaxies.
You had to. And she's like grabbing her robe, specifically at the part that's missing. And she says, "Well, why?" Well, no, she actually says like, "Very well. I guess I'll find another way."
Another way to what, if I may ask?
Get them to concede. Get them to concede.
These entities, and I gestured towards all the spirits rushing past. You need.
No, not them. And she just looks past you. But like basically to the distance. She looks to the distance, like and she says it is written in the law that I must stay here.
Okay. Well, would you be willing to leave this gate open still?
Yes, like I said, I'll find another way to have them concede to me. And Clarence, you feel your string moving quicker in your Ziploc bag. Like it's writhing like very vividly. And I'm gonna mute. Hold up, let me mute. Wait, what's that noise?
There were pages I think Michael was flipping around.
Let me mute you for a sec, I think. Alright, that was you. Okay, never mind. Alright. So so yeah, I'll unmute yourself and yeah.
So I think I take out the bag that has the string, and I say, "Oh, great Polaris, I believe that this is yours, and it's possible. I don't know for certain, but perhaps if you had it back, there would be nothing that you would need to concede."
She looks at you and she looks at the bag and at the string, and her eyes widen. Yes, that is precisely what I need.
Can you let these souls back in and stop holding the gates closed? I don't want to withhold this from you in any kind of way, but the galaxy needs your benevolence.
Yes, can you please give me the string?
And I hold it out.
All right, let's cut to Guy while this is going on.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, after I accidentally blew a hole in the side of the coffin with something that I was playing with, I was in fact standing there the whole time, right next to Polaris. So I'm gonna roll that move.
All right.
And it's an 8.
So on an 8, someone sees you. All right. So what's her relationship to the Polaris again?
Polaris doesn't like me for some reason. She threw me out of heaven, but never like gave me a reason and wouldn't let me back in. And this was like before the whole fiasco with the souls not being able to go through the gate.
Yeah, she sees you. And she's like, yes, this is mine. And she grabs the Ziploc bag and she's staring daggers at Guy.
Polaris, I told you I'd find a way back in here.
Yes, can I have my string back?
Well, I mean...
Well, and she's talking to Clarence, but still looking at Guy.
Polaris, one time you told me you were going to tell me who I was in my life. And you never gave me that. And you just tossed me out like I was nothing. Tell you what, tell me who I was. And I won't ever try to come back in here again. I'll wander out there aimlessly as a ghost for eternity. But you gotta tell me who I was before. I need to know.
Oh, it sounds like I try to convince.
Yeah. Yeah, roll that. Oh, wait, do you have that? Yes, you do.
All right, that's mind. And that's a 10.
So, yeah. So she says, and I have to think about this out of character, how to word it. You were the man who convinced the powers that be to include in Sidereal law that my one true love stay wandering in the universe for all eternity while I stay here holed up in heaven.
Hold on. So, like, out of character, guy was.
The guy who convinced like whatever the Sidereal law is, and whoever is in control of how Sidereals operate, including the Polaris, you convince them to have this guy wander the universe for eternity while Vega, who apparently is his lover, stays in heaven.
Well, Vega, I didn't know that. I don't remember anything.
You did it! And then she yells out your actual name, which for some reason we don't remember afterwards, unless you have a specific name in mind.
No, I don't.
All right. So she yells an incomprehensible name to us, but it is your name.
I'm sure whatever I did in my life, I did with good reason.
Leave. And she yanks the string out of Clarence's hand, or the Ziploc bag, rather, and she basically yells at you to leave.
Promise is a promise.
All right.
I turn around and walk back out the gate.
I think we take what remains of the coffin back out.
All right. And Minoso?
Yes, if I can say, I'd like to ask, why is Vega? May I, if I can indulge myself, I'd like to ask, please, may I seek a petition from, or may I say hello to an old love of mine who's now, I believe, rejoined your realm, or joined it for the first time. His name is Parsonet.
So you're trying to convince her as well.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you offer her?
Oh, what do I offer? I will offer help in helping getting the concession you seek.
Yes. All right. So we'll try to convince.
Try to convince.
Oh,
okay. Well,
that didn't work. Okay. So yeah, your family only makes things worse.
Can I roll to aid?
Yeah, sure. I think that you leaving for like ever helps out.
All right, yeah. So I like turn to Polaris and say, Polaris, you should trust her. She went through with the mission for me, and she'll come through for you.
All right.
And then roll 1. 8.
So 8. So that bumps you up. Make oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong move. Okay. Consequences, and then if you give them something concrete right now, the GM says what. All right. So she says, I need you to do me a favor.
Yes.
First. And then she leads you through the, and then she while she was talking, she was like pulling the the string out of the Ziploc bag, and then tying it up to her robe where it belonged. And here's what she wants from you. So after that she touches your mental enhancement um helmet. Yes, that's what it's called. She
Mhm.
touches it, and you see the matrix of the matrix of reality, basically.
Okay.
And she says, and you don't see anything else. You see like the thing that keeps reality moving. And she says, I need you to go into sidereal law and change a certain passage. You know which one.
And do I? I guess I would know because is this something I learned during my vision?
Uh well, actually, but it's more like, I need you to change as this passage, and it's the one about that she has to stay in heaven.
Okay. Oh, I see. So this passage would liberate Vega from having to
Stay
maintain her
here.
post. I see.
Uh let me see. Do you want to consult your database beforehand? I mean, you have a database, but like
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
this
Because
is a database, but
right, because I'll definitely need to find some kind of something to, or at least some equivalent energy to take Vega's place, right? So
probably.
yes, I'll definitely want to do some database consulting. So yeah, here we go. Yeah.
That's an 8. All right. Something useful and interesting. So the question being, who can replace Vega? The answer is every X amount of time, or it's not really clear. Like the Polaris changes constantly after a certain amount of time. It's
Mm.
not really clear how much time or when. So, and technically, any sidereal can take the post. It's just because of sidereal law, they've chosen Vega and a few others to take the role of the Polaris. That changes constantly.
Well, if we have a thief of space and time, and if we know that the flow of time, even just in the universe, well, it was fluctuating when the gates of heaven were closed, but not that they're open again. But if we know we can, I imagine between the time thief and presumably whatever control we could have ourselves over the flow of time based on opening or closing the gate of heaven, perhaps we can somehow accelerate time to the point where we just simply shift Vega out of her tour of duty, as it were, and until like the Polaris shifts into another aspect that would take over her place. Is that something that makes sense at all?
Maybe. I mean, go for it. I think you are doing something dangerous.
Definitely.
And it sounds like I need to be a part of. So I think kind of regardless of your role,
Now,
I should be helping it.
Right.
this
Well, real
definitely-
quick, Maria, what was my consequence for that aid roll of him convincing Vega?
I think he shoos you out. So you pretty much have to leave.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm outside of heaven.
Yeah, you're outside, and the gates are shut at this point. They are
Okay.
only letting out those souls that are like supposed to go in.
Just like the Bruno Mars song.
Right.
Now, what I just spit out a few seconds ago, I would read as definitely some crazy scheme. So should I be rolling with madness?
Either that or on behalf of others. I think either works.
Madness it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well.
Okay, Clarence, what was it? What was your roll again?
Oh,
You were
mine was a
18?
6.
Oh God.
Tell us what happens.
All right.
Now I'm glad I got kicked out.
Right.
All right.
And as all this like starts to happen, I just lean over and I say, "This is why I didn't want to tell you about what was going to happen."
Right.
All right. So the reality matrix kind of fights back against you. I think. So here's the big question. One of you is suffering harm, definitely.
Probably should be. Oh, okay.
Because Clarence tried to help, but Minoso tried to hack into the system basically, and Clarence was trying to help. How did you try to help again? Maybe
Well, and I think that because this system it's about bending the time continuum, because it could be eons that Vega is supposed to serve as the Polaris, and we're trying to take that fixed point in time where she no longer serves in that position and move it to our current moment. And so I'm basically twisting dials and switches within the coffin and channeling the energy of all these souls that are rushing to get back into heaven now they've finally been allowed.
Oh God. Wait, so the coffin is now inside?
Yeah, it's been kind of like resting at the gate. And so since we've gone back to it, we have all of these spirits that couldn't get through the gate before, and now they're like rushing. And it's like when you have like a water mill or any kind of like hydroelectric power, where there's like a metaphysical kind of turbine that's getting spun by all these spirits rushing over it.
All right. So here's what happens. So you take harm. So you suffer harm. But hold that thought as I describe what happens. Clarence, you see, like, you feel that that Sidereals are actually going to come and interfere with Minoso. Like, they're coming. What do you do?
I want to get us out of here. So I'm going to survey this dangerous area.
All right, cool.
To
Meanwhile,
try to find a way out.
Roll your harm move.
Okay. Does it actually involve a roll?
Yes, it does.
Let's see. I'm looking.
Oh wait, no. You can either choose to take harm as intended or let one of my machines get. Yeah. So
which machine? Let's make it the. Let's make it the. Hopefully this won't be the wrong one, but let's make it the exerciser.
All right. Cool. All right.
Kablooey.
So yeah, it fucking blows up as you try to use it. So Clarence, you survey the dangerous area. Go make that roll.
Okay, so I got a 7.
All right. So that is the
2 questions.
2 questions. What
Okay,
are your questions?
My first one is going to be, what's my best way in, out, or through?
I think your best way out is through the gates of heaven, but that won't get you out of the situation where you're gonna be hunted by these things like forever. So your best way out is to get out of this, like, not even out of this timeline because they're gonna hunt you forever. Get out of the universe, period.
Okay. I don't even know if I need a second question, because I'm happy to just act on that much information. And
you can ask
try to.
what else is hidden here.
Yeah, that was the other one that I was thinking of. If you have a good answer for it, let's hear it.
All right. So I think the other thing that's hidden here is that someone was watching you the entire time. And someone who does not like the fact that reality is being tampered with. And hence why all these things are coming after you now. All right. With that in mind, what do you do?
What I want to do is burrow to bypass the objects meant to keep me in. Obstacles meant to keep me in.
Okay. I roll that.
Finally getting used to them. And oh
my god.
That's a 5.
All right. Here is what happens. I think yes. You do it. You're out of this universe.
And never getting back.
Exactly. And that's it. That's, I guess, it. I mean, you can epilogue, but how are you?
Yeah, I do have a good epilogue, but I'll save it for. I'd love it to be the last, or wherever it falls into the epilogue. I'd hear from other people before we get to mine. I have a good one though.
Right. So Claire's just noped the fuck out. Whoa. And Guy left a long time ago.
Right.
And now you have all the this strange and alien yet angelic creatures going after you. What do you do?
Okay, so I don't have an exerciser, so I can't just drive them off. I think it's time to whip out the easy bandit and see if I can. If I'm in heaven, I should be able to use the easy bandit to kind of just manipulate and create constructs out of the very essence of this reality. Am I correct in understanding that?
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. So let's see if I can just basically Green Lantern my way out of this mess. So I think I'd like to. The first thing that comes to mind, if I have all these angelic creatures chasing after me, if I could just summon up or create out of energy, I guess an equivalent army of constructs. Just to be cheeky, let's shape them as demons to defend myself, to defend me.
All right. That might be do something dangerous with science. I'm not sure why.
Sounds dangerous to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So which stat should I roll with? Is this a crazy scheme? Is this I'm using machine,
so science, I guess.
Okay. Cool. Oh, wait.
Yes, that is
science. Oh, hey, finally a good roll. It's about time we got a good roll in here.
So yeah, I think yes, you are now you are not at an advantageous position, so whatever it is you're summoning or doing, it's working, and you are now in a better position to get the fuck out. What do you do?
Okay. It might be interesting if I'm kind of intrigued. I know Vega seems to be miserable here, right?
Yes.
Is there any way I could? And I don't know if I'm speaking in character or out of character at this point, but is there any way that Minoso herself could be deemed worthy of, or somehow empowers herself into being worthy and taking your place? I know I'm aspiring to godhood, and it's just weird since I don't even believe it. I never really believed in heaven as like a religious place specifically, but I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm still bound to help Vega, right? Yeah, I made a deal with her.
Yeah.
If I could see Parsnip one more time. So instead of escaping, I'm going to just remind Vega that I'm still willing to help her if she'll grant me my boon, the boon that for which I requested.
And don't forget, it was Guy that wrote that law that is keeping her in there.
Yeah, right.
And also the fact that Guy said she is going to like she'll come through for you, and yeah, you are doing that. So I don't think you don't even need to convince her. So you see your boyfriend, I forget his name.
Parsnip,
yeah.
Yeah, well, I will wrap him in a tender embrace.
Yeah.
And ask what I heard that I heard you fell into a sun, into a star.
Yes, that happened. So Clarence, how did Parsnip fall into a sun specifically?
We had traveled to a planet that the sun that supplied it with energy was starting to go supernova.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to get people off of this planet and save them before the whole place caught fire. And I abandoned the situation fairly early on, and tried to get Parsnip to follow me into the coffin, but he wanted to get one more family onto escape pods. I told him no, we need to go now. And when he refused, I just left.
All right. So yeah, you know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's through visions, or that we have this flashback to what happened.
I guess I'd just part with asking him if he's found peace with where he is now, or if he wanted to come back.
Yes. Yeah, I found peace. I did the right thing.
So this is it then. Okay. Very good. I'm glad you found your peace. She'll just say that. I'm glad. And whatever anger or hurt she had experienced at him leaving in the first place is dissipated, knowing that he still was the same person that she had loved, giving his life up for to save all those people from the expanding sun. And with that, she can make her peace with that, and then prepare herself to fulfill her end of the bargain to help Vega.
I think that's something dangerous with heroism at this point.
Okay.
The stakes are off the roof, so I think the consequences are very high, to the extent that you don't even go to suffer harm.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what. Yes.
Yes.
We are the champions, my friend.
3 fucking points.
Wow.
Whatever. Okay, so you rolled a 3.
Yeah,
so
lay it out.
6 minus the GM. Well, it's +1 but that doesn't fucking make a difference.
Okay, right.
So you rolled a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think as you say goodbye to Parsnip, the angelic forces of the sidereals overwhelm your demonic forces of whatever the fuck you built. And while you're trying to integrate yourself into the machine, they fucking murder you.
Yeah. Where's your? Yep. Oh, what
Alright.
better way to go? At least I
Alright.
finally found proof that this is that the heaven is a thing. Heaven exists.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, Minoso.
And
Alright.
I guess we epilogue now. I guess we're starting with Minoso. Like, what happens when you die?
Wow.
I mean, is there anything Guy can do from outside the gate or no?
Well, I mean, you left.
No, I didn't leave. I got kicked out of the heaven.
Yes, you got kicked out of heaven.
Right.
And she was in heaven.
Right. So there's nothing I could do from outside the gate.
Correct. And even then, you would only bump her up to a +5 to like a 5. So
Right.
There's not much you can do.
Really nothing you can do.
Not much you can do with the 3. So I know before at the beginning of the session, I had stipulated that the reason she Minoso didn't have what she needed to fix the gates of heaven was that she didn't believe in heaven as on its own terms. However, she did fix the gate. So from that, we can extrapolate that somewhere along the way, maybe she didn't even realize it at the time, but she did come to accept the existence of heaven on its own terms as something beyond an energy signal or just a source of energy out there in the ether. So is it possible that her soul could end up remaining in heaven, even with parsing it?
Yeah. I think the there might be some weird shit with with sidereal law because you did try to tamper with reality. You are still in heaven technically. But I think like once that gets resolved, you can have your happy ending.
Yeah, after millennium or two in I don't know, in heaven court or whatever.
Heaven court.
Yeah, I think that's a good send off.
All right. Guy, what's your epilogue?
So when Guy got kicked out, well, actually he walked out because he fulfilled his promise because she told him who he was in life. He walks outside the gate. He just sits down on the steps out in front of the gate while all these souls are flowing in like a river through the gate.
Aww.
And he lifts his his ethereal hand up and he kind of touches the stream, feels the power of the souls kind of flow through him a little bit, knowing that they're going to where they belong, but he can't. He's doomed to forever walk among the mortals. And then like the stream slows down to like a trickle, and then now it's like the normal flow of souls, it's not that backlog. And he gets up and you see him walk towards the gate, and the gate's, bright, blinding light. And every time he gets close to it, the light dims to darkness and he can't walk through it. It's just like an invisible wall there. And he does that every day. For eons until Polaris is finally out of her position and the next one can take over and let him in.
All right. Clarence.
All right. So Clarence floats through the space between spaces and time between times. In the coffin, and we see initially we see him from the back, and he's kind of hunched over, and the camera comes over his shoulder and sees in his hands that he's fiddling with something small, because anytime that Clarence, as the thief of time and space, spends time somewhere or with someone, he may surreptitiously take an object with him when he leaves, as long as no one was keeping an eye on it. And he has taken with him the lock that binds the gates to heaven. And though Guy was duty bound to not cross, while he waited, he saw not just the ghosts of the faithfully departed, he started seeing living people, spaceships, just casual travelers going through that gate, and seeing heaven become pretty much just like anywhere else in the universe, and everything that made it special and made it desirable fade away, and got like all that much more frustrated that he was the only being in the universe banned from entering it.
I think with that in mind, the last thing you see, the last shot we get of whatever, if this was a movie, is a man in strange clothing, just with all these spaceships and stuff going through and in and out. You see this man with a strange outfit, almost like a cowboy. He just looks at Guy and says, "You can never get what you want, do you?" And he just walks through the gate. And that's it.
All right.
Clarence,
Thank you, everybody.
Clarence's epilogue made my epilogue like 10 times sadder.
I know, right?
Because like I spent eons trying to get into heaven, and now it's like nothing.
It's like a glorified strip mall.
Yeah, that's
Oh, and also
Always remember.
the last scene with like, now Vega can actually be reunited with her lover. So
All right.
it's
Well, someone can have to come along.
so yes, yay,
poor guy.
guy.
Clarence is a right bastard.
I know, right? All right, cool.
Nice.
I'm still sad that like I never got to see how Guy died, because Clarence knew that, and I was like for certain like the whole time going in there that like at some point Clarence went back in time and killed Guy. That's like what I was imagining.
Oh.
Oh my god. But yeah, let's do stars and wishes.
Huh.
I'm gonna start with well, stars and wishes is supposed to be different than roses and thorns, so let's do it like it's supposed to happen. Stars all around, but stars. Let's start with Minoso. I love Michael. I love how you the technobabble, like how Minoso was always talking in technobabble.
Right. Well, it beats actually having to know the science, right?
Yeah. Guy. I think the scene with Guy and Vega came out really nicely, so start to that. And Clarence, the bastard thing. So stars to you, Vincent, as well. Like Clarence, especially at the end, the epilogue scene. So, yeah. And we never did find out where Clarence ended up to, so.
He's out of the universe now.
He's out of the universe now, so. All right. Who wants to do stars and wishes next?
I'll go ahead and start. I guess well, the first thing that comes to mind, I really appreciated the lead-in questions that you presented.
Wishes. We'll do the wishes after stars. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sticking to stars, I think you did a great job of picking like the really interesting playbooks and then setting up really interesting questions. or prompts for each of those playbooks. I think it really, especially with a game like this, it's so wide open. And when I saw today the prompts that you had posted for the playbooks, it just gave like a bunch of really good, strong, interesting possibilities to play with, where any number of those playbooks would have been really fun to get into. So, and I think that those lead-in questions can do so much of the hard work of establishing the tone for a game and getting people interested right away. And I think you did I thought that was a particularly really good job of doing that. So yeah, as soon as I read those questions, that just made me really enthused for the game session. And I thought everyone was fun to play. I enjoyed Clarence's mischievousness, and I especially enjoyed. I really liked Guy. The epilogue was very evocative. It was really cool, very visual, and I love stuff like that in game sessions where it kind of like takes a story to that next level from just being like fun to just being like even a little emotionally moving. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Thank you.
Pat, do you have any stars?
Yeah, stars for the weirdness. I love the weirdness of the setting and the characters. I got the same thing when I played Space Wurm versus Moonicorn. I just love just weird stuff that's like, how is that possible? I don't know. It just is, I absolutely love the setting. I love, the weirdness that, Maria, you brought out, and, about the dress, and she wants her thread back. And it
that was Vincent, the dress part. At least.
Yeah.
The string of something
the
else.
thread on the dress was a great touch. I mean, even Maria, for you to say that Guy, for throughout the whole game session, like, we didn't know what Guy was, he was just a ghost, wandering around. But then you brought it in like, oh, well, back when he was living, he's the reason this god's been trapped here, for her whole life. So, it's that weird stuff like that really pulls me into games like this. So that's a star for me.
Right. Vince.
Yeah, big stars to Maria. I feel like, and I don't know if it was intentional from the outset or something that you latched onto and built from the answers that we supplied and some of the stuff that we built throughout. But I got this great through line theme of the characters wanting to be connected to something, and that went all the way through to Polaris, the god of this universe, having this disconnect and being saddened and alone because of that. And it all comes back to the root of our technician, like right out the gate, having lost someone, that as many people have lost someone at the hands of Clarence. Yeah, I found it just kind of, it was beautiful and it was touching. So stars to all that.
Thank you. I did not notice it. This was something that I didn't really think about. It's more like, but connections is it is a theme, even though I didn't think about it that way. Which is for next few sessions. I wish we can keep it up. That's my main wish. Like, I want to see more weird stuff. I want to see more happy, or not happy, sorry, emotional stuff, and more character and more play between the characters as well. So those are my wishes. Let's go the reverse order. Vince, what are your wishes?
Yeah, I think And I think I'm the only person that's in all 4 sessions. It's a lot of more of the same.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that might be helpful is to have like more aggressive initial hooks, like maybe start some in media res, where we're like right in the thick of action, like right out the gate. Doesn't have to happen with every session, clearly.
Yeah.
But I think that we might have made a little tiny bit of a slow start while we were all getting our footing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for session 2, I think that's gonna be hard, but like for session 3 and 4, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Regarding with the prompts I have for those sessions. Pat, do you have any wishes? Or are you even here? Are you even here for any of the future sessions?
I'm not signed up for any of the future sessions. I saw you needed a player, so I dropped in today.
There are spaces open, by the way.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I might drop into some future sessions. As far as a wish, yeah, I think there's a couple. One, I wish I could play like every playbook in the same game because all these playbooks are just so cool. You know, like I was waffling between playing Moonicorn and the Space Ghost, but then I read the Space Vampire and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool too. And then I saw the Mutant and I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool too. I just wish I could play more playbooks in one game. But I know that's not in the rules. For a second wish, I think the questions, the prompt questions, I realize they build the hooks for the plot, but you could also use them to build the bonds between the characters. I know a lot of times, you know, bonds is like a controversial thing, especially in Dungeon World. A lot of times they fall to the wayside and get forgotten about. I'm the type that like always tries to play off the bonds.
Yeah, I think the bonds do a good like there's enough weird questions in like establishing leading questions in the bonds themselves that
Right.
it's fine if I don't touch upon that.
Right. I'm not
In my
saying
opinion,
from a GM standpoint. I'm saying from player standpoint. Bonds, like, to me, I think that they put them into Dungeon World, you know, to get that social dynamic between the characters, but the onus shouldn't be on the GM to force it. I guess you could say, you know, the GM should be focusing on plot while the player characters focus on the bonds. But bonds are controversial. You know, a lot of people don't even play with them. They play with flags and stuff like that. So, you know, if it doesn't come into play, that's not the GM's fault. It's on the players to tie that into their narrations and stuff like that.
All right, that makes sense. Michael, do you have any last words?
Yeah, I think yeah, in regards to whether we play up the character relationships versus the plot, I know in this case, and this isn't a criticism, but it was such a big plot kernel, the idea of the gates to heaven being shut down in a sci-fi or space opera setting. I mean, it's you know, I guess at least for me, that captured my imagination so much that I was always thinking more of that than the interpersonal stuff. And but in future sessions, yeah, I'll have to remember to, because it'll be fun to just play up on and just play up the characters, and almost as if pretending there wasn't like a overarching plot, just to see where it goes. But I don't know. I guess it depends on what you have in.
Do you have any wishes?
Nothing I can really think of. I guess different. Will you be using the same playbooks or different playbooks in each?
Different playbooks every session.
Oh, good, because that's what I was hoping for. Because you know there are a lot of good juicy ones. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I can think of, is to get to play with more toys.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for participating, everyone, and
Thanks
for playing.
Thank for running, Maria.
Thank you for hosting.
And I will
Good night,
see
everybody.
you later. I will stop the broadcast now.
Cool.